Why is there a museum dedicated to pasta in Italy? Italy is the land of pasta, so it's no surprise that they have a museum devoted to this culinary masterpiece. In Rome, you can visit the Pasta Museum, where you'll find all kinds of pasta varieties, pasta-making machines, and even historic pasta. This place is for true carbohydrate enthusiasts, where you can learn about the history of creating spaghetti, fettuccine, and other types of pasta that Italians have been making for hundreds of years. Surprisingly, there are also humorous exhibits, like pasta shaped like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Can you imagine which vegetable is the oldest in the world? Peas hold the title of being the oldest known vegetable, with evidence of cultivation dating back to 9750 BCE. This small green legume has been an essential part of human diets for thousands of years, grown by ancient civilizations and valued in many cultures across the world. Peas aren't just a simple vegetable, they represent the enduring legacy of certain foods throughout human history. Who would have thought that the humble pea has accompanied humanity for so long? Did you know you might have been answering the phone with ahoy? In the early days of the telephone, when Alexander Graham Bell introduced his invention, he suggested using ahoy as a greeting when answering calls. Inspired by nautical language, Bell thought it would be a perfect fit for the new way of communicating. Imagine if his idea caught on. We would all be saying ahoy every time we picked up the phone. However, Thomas Edison suggested the word hello, and it became the standard, leaving ahoy as a quirky piece of history. Why do you think the world's most expensive coffee costs so much? Kopi Luwak is the world's most expensive coffee, priced at a whopping $600 per pound. This exotic brew is made from coffee beans that have been eaten and passed through the digestive system of the civet, a small animal found in Southeast Asia. Enzymes in the civet's stomach alter the flavor of the beans, making them smoother and less bitter. The result is a coffee with a unique, mild taste that coffee enthusiasts are willing to pay top dollar for. Have you ever wondered how moths sniff love from miles away? Male silkworm moths possess some of the most sensitive noses in the animal kingdom. Their feathery antennae are loaded with millions of scent receptors that can detect just a few molecules of a female's pheromone. From up to 16 kilometers away, these males lock onto the chemical trail and navigate with astonishing precision, even in total darkness. Once in range, they engage in a dance-like flight, guided by increasingly strong scent cues. This extreme sensitivity ensures that even in low-density populations, mating is still possible. Their antennae are so advanced, they've inspired sensor designs in modern robotics and technology. Nature made them into airborne pheromone-seeking missiles, all for the sake of love. You won't believe this about the Balearic Islands. These stunning islands, located in the Mediterranean Sea, are not just a vacation hotspot. They boast a treasure trove of fascinating history and mouth-watering cuisine. Archaeological sites across the islands date back to prehistoric times, revealing a rich tapestry of human activity and culture. Visitors can explore ancient taliots and burial sites that tell stories of the original inhabitants, the Taliotic people, who left their mark thousands of years ago. On top of their historical significance, the Balearic Islands delight food lovers with their incredible local cuisine. Imagine savoring fresh seafood caught straight from the Mediterranean, paired with delicious local fruits and vegetables. Traditional dishes like sobrasada and ensaimada showcase the island's unique flavors, making every meal a flavorful experience. So, whether you're wandering through ancient ruins or indulging in delectable dishes, the Balearic Islands are sure to captivate your heart and taste buds. Why is there a restaurant in Tokyo where real ninjas serve food? In Tokyo, there is a restaurant where waiters dress as ninjas, and it's wildly popular. The waiters perform tricks, vanish into thin air, and serve dishes with an air of mystery. The menu features exotic dishes, served with an element of surprise, and every meal is accompanied by a show. It's not just a restaurant, it's a full adventure for those who have always dreamed of seeing ninjas in action. Can you guess how big the world's largest slice of pizza was? In 2018, a New York pizzeria broke all records by creating the world's largest slice of pizza. This gigantic slice measured 2.4 meters in length, about 8 feet, and 1.2 meters in width, which is around 4 feet. It was so enormous that it could feed 20 people. The slice was topped with cheese and pepperoni and was so massive that it needed a special truck and 2 people to transport it. A true epic feast for any pizza lover. How would you react if you learned that the national motto of the USA is God helps? This might be surprising, especially in a country where there is no official state religion and freedom of worship is encouraged. The USA is a nation where everyone can choose their own faith, and the government does not interfere in these personal matters. Interestingly, the dollar is not just a currency, but a true icon of the global economy. Its printing is handled by only 12 banks, and the paper for the banknotes is produced by a single company, highlighting the significance of this currency on the world stage. Did you know that cats can make over 100 different sounds? Cats are true vocal virtuosos. They can meow, purr, hiss, growl, and produce countless other sounds, each carrying a specific meaning. Unlike dogs, who mostly bark, cats use a whole range of sounds to communicate with humans and each other. This rich vocal repertoire helps them express their emotions, moods, and desires. If you have a furry friend at home, rest assured they'll find a way to talk to you about their plans. Laika, the first star among space dogs. In 1957, a small Moscow stray named Laika became a true hero when she launched into space aboard Sputnik 2. Laika was the first living being to orbit the Earth, proving that life could survive in zero gravity. Her mission was a key part of the Soviet space program, which paved the way for future space exploration. Though Laika's return to Earth was not planned, her bravery inspired a generation of scientists and marked an important step toward conquering the cosmos. Laika remains a symbol of courage and sacrifice for the sake of progress. Xbox controllers in U.S. submarines. Gaming revolution at the Navy service. Can you imagine that the U.S. Navy uses Xbox controllers to operate periscopes on submarines? This unexpected fact came about due to a desire to make control systems more intuitive and user-friendly for young sailors who are familiar with video games. Additionally, using off-the-shelf gaming controllers significantly reduces the cost of developing complex military systems. This move not only simplified the work of sailors, but also made it a lot more fun. Who would have thought that a beloved gaming gadget would find a place in such serious conditions? Can it be true Saudi Arabia imports camels from Australia? Yes, it's no mistake. Camels, once brought to Australia from the Middle East for farming and transportation, are now being exported back to Saudi Arabia. Camels have thrived in Australia's environment, and their population has grown significantly. Now they are exported back to the Middle East, where they are used for similar purposes. Surprisingly, Australia is now a global leader in camel exports. Who would have thought that these desert animals would complete such a unique historical cycle? It's hard to believe, but the first university in the U.S. was established in 1636, and it was Harvard. It remains one of the most prestigious institutions not only in America, but also in the world. Harvard has become a symbol of academic success and intellectual wealth, providing its students with the highest quality education. This institution has been the foundation for numerous scientific discoveries and social changes in the country, and has played a key role in shaping the U.S. educational system, which continues to be one of the most advanced in the world. Is it possible that giraffes only sleep 30 minutes a day? These incredible animals can survive on minimal sleep. Giraffes sleep for only about 30 minutes a day, and they even do it standing up. They have a special mechanism that allows them to rest in short intervals of a few minutes to avoid predators. With such long legs, they can quickly spot approaching danger. Did you know that what is called informing in Belarus, Russia, and throughout Europe is considered a manifestation of vigilance in the United States? Americans are accustomed to acting quickly and calling the police if they notice something suspicious in their neighbors or local area. In a country where safety and order are highly valued, residents see it as their duty to monitor their surroundings and help maintain public order, sometimes even without being asked. This illustrates the dominant culture of vigilance in the U.S., where it is viewed not as interference, but as a responsibility of every citizen. Did you know the largest diamond in the world weighed more than 3,000 carats? The Cullinan diamond, found in 1905 in South Africa, is the largest diamond ever discovered. It weighed a staggering 3,160 carats. This unique gem was divided into several pieces, some of which adorn the British royal regalia. This diamond is a true wonder of nature, and its size is simply breathtaking. Is it true that Canada has mysterious singing sands? In Canada's Prince Edward Island National Park, there is a beach where the sand produces melodic sounds when walked upon. This phenomenon, known as singing sands, occurs due to friction between sand grains. This remarkable occurrence can only be heard on a few beaches in the world, and scientists are still unsure exactly why these sands sing. Surprisingly, Americans consume about 150 million hot dogs each day, making the U.S. the world leader in hot dog consumption. It may seem odd, but hot dogs are an integral part of American culture. They are especially popular at baseball games, street food courts, and picnics. In the U.S., a country rich in fast food, there are even national holidays dedicated to this product. This level of consumption reflects a culture where food often serves as a quick and convenient dining option available in any circumstance. Who would have thought that quokkas always look happy? The quokka's viral fame stems from its irresistibly cheerful expression, a wide-eyed, open-mouthed smile that melts hearts online. But behind the grin is biology, not joy. Their facial structure naturally forms a pleasant look, regardless of mood. That said, quokkas truly are more sociable than most wild animals. Native to predator-free islands in Australia, they've evolved without the instinct to fear humans. Over generations, their willingness to approach people brought food rewards, favoring the survival of friendly individuals. As a result, modern quokkas are bold, curious, and often interact directly with tourists. Their behavior is a case study in how evolutionary pressures, not emotions, can shape the friendliness of a species. So next time you see a quokka selfie, remember, it's not smiling for the camera. It's thriving thanks to a perfect mix of charm and adaptation. Do you suffer from kenophobia, fear of empty spaces? Kenophobia is a rare and unusual fear of empty spaces. People who have this fear feel uncomfortable in overly open places, where there is no furniture or objects, creating a sense of fullness. Imagine playing hide and seek with someone who has kenophobia. The thought of finding a place to hide in a large empty room could become a real nightmare. This phobia highlights just how different our perceptions of the world around us can be. Can you imagine that the highest temperature in the USA was recorded in California's Death Valley at 56 degrees? It's one of the hottest and driest regions on the planet, where living conditions are extremely harsh. In contrast, the lowest temperature in the USA was recorded in Alaska at -60 . These temperature extremes illustrate the incredible climate diversity in the country, from the scorching heat of deserts to the deadly cold of the northern latitudes. Is it really true that Yosemite attracts climbers worldwide? Absolutely. Yosemite National Park is famous for its stunning granite cliffs and breathtaking views, with iconic landmarks like El Capitan and Half Dome leading the way. El Capitan, standing at a whopping 3,000 feet, is a mecca for rock climbers who come to test their skills against its sheer vertical face. Climbers from all over the globe flock to this natural wonder, eager to conquer its challenging routes while soaking in the park's awe-inspiring beauty. Similarly, Half Dome, with its distinctive shape, offers adventurous hikers a thrilling challenge as they trek up its steep trails. The park not only showcases incredible rock formations, but also plays host to many climbing competitions and events, further enhancing its reputation in the climbing community. With hundreds of climbing routes suited for various skill levels, Yosemite truly offers something for everyone, making it a bucket list destination for adventure enthusiasts. So what are you waiting for? Grab your climbing gear and experience the magic of Yosemite. Amazing but true, ants are unrivaled heavy lifters. Some ants can lift 50 to 100 times their own body weight, the equivalent of a human effortlessly raising a small car. This superhero strength comes from their body structure. Small size allows a high muscle-to-mass ratio, and their exoskeletons distribute weight with near-perfect efficiency. When working in groups, ants become even more impressive. They coordinate with pheromones and touch signals to form living transport systems, moving massive objects across long distances. Leafcutter ants, for example, create highways through forests to carry pieces of vegetation back to cultivate underground fungus farms. This fusion of biological strength and teamwork has even inspired engineers to develop ant-based algorithms for robotics and logistics. In the insect world, ants are not just strong, they're strategic geniuses of construction and transportation. Did you hear about the cat that defied gravity? This astonishing tale revolves around a feline that survived a harrowing 32-story fall, a feat that seems almost impossible. Miraculously, the cat managed to escape with only a chipped tooth and a collapsed lung, both of which it recovered from. How is this even possible? Well, cats have an incredible ability to right themselves mid-air, thanks to their flexible spine and unique skeletal structure. This natural talent, often referred to as the righting reflex, allows them to twist and turn their bodies to land on their feet. While it sounds superhuman, this ability is backed by science. Their lightweight body and fur help slow their fall by creating air resistance, almost like a parachute, which minimizes injury in many cases. Nevertheless, it's important to remember that not all falls end in such a happy ending, so keeping Kitty indoors or secured on a balcony is still wise. This remarkable survival story showcases the resilience of our feline friends and reminds us just how fascinating nature can be. Did you know that the number of slot machines in Las Vegas roughly equals the population of Nevada? Each year, these machines generate about $10 billion for the city's economy, highlighting the importance of casinos as a revenue source. Las Vegas is more than just entertainment. It is a massive industry that supports an entire state and significantly impacts the national economy. Ever wondered why highways need constant maintenance? Aging highway infrastructure, tricky weather conditions, and the constant flow of vehicles all play a big role in the need for ongoing maintenance of U.S. highways. Imagine driving on a bumpy road with potholes. It's not just uncomfortable, but it can be dangerous too. As time passes, highways experience wear and tear from heavy trucks and cars, which can cause cracks and other issues. Add in unpredictable weather, think rain, snow, and extreme heat, and it's easy to see how these factors speed up deterioration. This means that road crews are always busy patching up surfaces, repainting lines, and ensuring safety signs are visible. Regular maintenance not only helps to improve safety for drivers, but also extends the life of the highways, saving money in the long run. So when you hit the road and notice construction or repair, remember it's all about keeping our infrastructure safe and functional for everyone. Why don't newborns cry tears? Newborn babies can cry, but they don't shed tears. How is that possible? Their tear glands are not fully developed. In fact, it can take several weeks for newborns to start crying with tears. So while babies can loudly express their dissatisfaction, you won't see real tears until sometime after birth. This is one of the little wonders that happen in the first weeks of a baby's life. Here's what's hidden in snail mucus. It acts as a signal. A snail's trail is more than just slippery slime. It's a rich communication system and multifunctional tool. The mucus acts as a lubricant, allowing snails to glide over rough terrain without injury and stick to vertical surfaces like walls or tree trunks. But more fascinatingly, snails embed chemical cues in the slime to guide others. These cues can signal paths to food or indicate readiness to mate. Other snails detect these pheromones and follow the trail like reading an invisible message. In tough environments, snails may even overwrite trails with conflicting signals to confuse competitors or predators. Mucus also conserves moisture, preventing dehydration in hot or dry climates. This humble substance functions as GPS, armor, and social media, all in one sticky package. Evolution turned mucus from mere waste into a brilliant tool of survival and coordination. Here's a wild fact about a frozen giant. The Cherrig-Bolton boulder is a jaw-dropping natural wonder, nestled within a mountain crevasse on Norway's stunning Cherrig Mountain. Imagine this massive rock, over 3,000 feet in the air, and wedged tightly between two towering cliffs. It's not just a random boulder, it tells a story that stretches back to the last ice age. As glaciers melted and retreated, they left behind this gigantic stone in its precarious position, creating a breathtaking sight for anyone adventurous enough to visit. The boulder has become a hot spot for thrill seekers, especially base jumpers who take the leap from its heights, soaring off into the vastness below. Besides the adrenaline rush, it's also a perfect backdrop for striking photos, attracting tourists and photographers from around the globe. So if you ever find yourself in Norway, the Cherrig-Bolton boulder is a must-see that combines natural beauty with a touch of history, adventure, and of course, some exhilarating views. What do you think is the largest economy in the world? Of course, it's the USA. With a GDP exceeding 23 trillion, the US continues to lead the global economy, consistently maintaining its position as a world leader. The country's economy is based on high technology, innovation, financial services, and a strong military industry. The US remains a global hub for investments, startups, and corporate solutions. Its economic power allows it to influence international markets and set trends in global business, making it not only an economic superpower, but also a vital center for new technology and innovation development. The lonely giant, the saddest whale on the planet. Imagine a whale that sings at a frequency no one else can hear. This unique whale, dubbed the 52 Hertz whale, is known for singing at 52 Hertz, much higher than other whales. Because of this, it cannot communicate with other whales, and it is considered the loneliest whale in the world. Scientists and the public have followed this whale since the 1980s, and its solitary songs remain a mystery. Perhaps its story is more than just an anomaly. It could be a symbol of our own isolation in the modern world. Why exactly does the Statue of Liberty belong to New Jersey? This iconic symbol of freedom and democracy, known worldwide, actually sits in New Jersey's waters. While it's often associated with New York City, the legal and geographical details tell a different story. The statue rests on Liberty Island, which is surrounded by the waters of New Jersey. This curious situation arises from an 1834 agreement between New York and New Jersey. The state of New Jersey originally claimed the land due to a 1664 charter, and subsequent laws confirmed that the waters surrounding the island were also part of New Jersey. As a result, many people often wonder if visiting the statue means they're stepping into New York or New Jersey. Besides its geographical quirks, the Statue of Liberty is a powerful symbol of hope for countless immigrants as they approach the American shores. So next time you admire Lady Liberty, remember that her official home is in the Garden State. How iron buttocks help Samsung test phone durability. Have you ever wondered how smartphone manufacturers test the durability of their devices? Samsung uses a rather unusual method to test their phones. They created a special robot shaped like human buttocks that sits on phones to simulate the pressure people exert when they sit with their phones in their back pockets. The robot even wears jeans to make the test as realistic as possible. This innovative testing helps the company ensure that their devices can withstand everyday challenges and won't break under pressure. Hard to believe, but there's an ice castle in Norway that disappears every spring. In the village of Alta in northern Norway, every winter a stunning ice hotel and castle are built entirely from snow and ice. This unique structure exists for just a few months. Once spring arrives, it melts and vanishes. Every year, the ice hotel is rebuilt from scratch, with new ice sculptures, an ice bar, and rooms for guests. This project has become a major attraction for tourists who come to admire the incredible architecture and immerse themselves in a world made entirely of frozen water. Ever heard a mysterious hum? Discover the Tao's hum. This strange and low-pitched sound has intrigued people around the world, and it's often compared to the distant rumble of a diesel engine. Most commonly reported in places like the USA, UK, and Northern Europe, this elusive noise has left many scratching their heads. It got its name from Taos, New Mexico, where residents first reported it in the 1990s. In 1997, Congress took it seriously enough to ask researchers to investigate what on earth could be causing it. Despite extensive efforts, including sound analysis and community surveys, the source of the hum has baffled experts and remains unsolved. Some theories suggest it could be environmental factors or even industrial noise, yet no conclusive answers have emerged. Residents have described the hum as disruptive, affecting sleep and daily life. So next time you find yourself in one of those quiet spots, listen closely. You might just catch a glimpse of the Taos hum, one of the world's biggest auditory mysteries. Where do you think the largest Chinatowns in the world are located? They are, of course, San Francisco and Manhattan in New York City. These areas have become centers of life and culture for Chinese immigrants, featuring numerous restaurants, shops, and cultural events. New York is also known for Brighton Beach, a compact neighborhood primarily inhabited by immigrants from the former USSR. This is one of the most vibrant and culturally rich communities in the U.S., home to around 80,000 people, creating a unique atmosphere for new generations and tourists. The United States is the birthplace of skyscrapers. The first skyscraper was built in Chicago in 1885 and held the record until 1931. The tallest building in the U.S., Freedom Tower in New York, which stands on the site of the destroyed Twin Towers, is currently the seventh tallest building in the world. These architectural marvels symbolize not only strength and technology, but also the resilience of the nation following the 9/11 tragedy. Skyscrapers in the U.S. embody the country's ambitions and its capability to construct unique, magnificent structures that continue to astonish the world. Guess what record twin births just set? It turns out that the longest time between the births of twins is a whopping 87 days. This extraordinary case involved a set of twins born in different years, which certainly sounds like something out of a movie. In 2012, a mother in Ireland gave birth to her first twin, a girl named Amy, who arrived prematurely at just 25 weeks. Sadly, her twin brother, who was still developing in the womb, needed more time to grow and thrive. The doctors decided to wait before delivering him to ensure he was as healthy as possible. Finally, 87 days later, baby Finn was born, marking a unique milestone in the world of sibling births. Most twins come into the world within minutes of each other, making Finn's arrival feel like a magical twist of fate. Can you imagine being so far apart in age from your twin? This remarkable birth story not only highlights the wonders of modern medicine, but also showcases the incredible resilience of both mothers and their babies. Did you know that the USA leads the world in Olympic medals? The United States holds the all-time record for Olympic Games medals. American athletes have earned more than 2,900 medals throughout the history of the Games. It is the only country to have won more than 1,000 gold medals. The USA continues to dominate, winning medals at every Olympics since the start of the Games in 1896. In 2024, at the Paris Games, the USA became the first country to surpass 3,000 total medals. This is a phenomenal achievement. Hard to believe, but the electric catfish is an underwater stun gun. Lurking in African rivers, the electric catfish may appear slow and harmless, but it harbors a shocking secret, literally. Species like Malapterurus electricus have evolved an internal electric organ made from modified muscle cells that can release bursts of electricity up to 350 volts. This jolt can instantly paralyze small fish, knock items from human hands, and even stun larger animals like perch or small crocodiles. The shock only lasts a few seconds, but it's enough to leave prey floating helplessly. The catfish then calmly swims up and gulps its immobilized meal. Unlike electric eels that use pulses, this catfish delivers a sustained burst, making it one of the most efficient aquatic predators in murky waters. It's a self-charging battery with fins, a natural marvel that uses bioelectricity for both defense and offense. Vultures and their cooling trick. Vultures have a unique way to stay cool in hot weather. Since they can't sweat, they've developed an alternative method. They poop on their own legs. The water in their droppings evaporates, cooling their skin. This process is called urohydrosis, and it also helps to sterilize their legs after coming into contact with decaying food. So if you ever see a vulture with white streaks on its legs, know that it's not just dirt. It's a clever way to beat the heat and keep clean. Nature certainly has its own surprises. Did you know that Tokyo has buildings that can grow? Tokyo has a construction technology that allows buildings to increase in height even after completion. The foundation is reinforced so that additional floors can be added later. This saves space in the metropolis and adapts to changing demands. For example, the Mizushima skyscraper was built with 14 floors, but later grew to 20. Believe it or not, dolphins chat in an underwater chat room. Dolphins are far more than playful swimmers. They're acoustic geniuses of the deep. Using a combination of whistles, clicks, chirps, and burst pulses, they communicate complex messages about identity, mood, danger, and coordination. Each dolphin has a signature whistle, like a name, which it repeats to identify itself to others, even years after separation. More impressively, researchers have found syntax-like structures in their vocalizations. The order and length of sounds seem to follow consistent patterns, suggesting a form of grammar. Dolphins also use echolocation, emitting sound waves that bounce off objects, to see in murky waters and even assess internal states like pregnancy in others. In group hunts, dolphins synchronize clicks to corral fish or warn each other of threats. Their vocal universe is a true marine language, making the ocean one vast, intelligent conversation. Cucumber versus watermelon. Who wins the water battle? Believe it or not, cucumbers contain more water than watermelons. While we tend to think of watermelon as the most watery fruit, cucumbers actually contain 95% water, while watermelons have around 91 to 92%. This makes cucumbers slightly more watery than their red counterparts. So if you want to quench your thirst on a hot day, a cucumber might be even more effective than watermelon. It's amazing how such simple vegetables can hide surprising facts. Why does freshly cut grass smell so good? The fresh scent of newly mowed grass is actually a distress signal. When grass is cut, it releases chemicals to warn nearby plants of danger. These compounds, known as greenleaf volatiles, are a plant's way of signaling that it has been injured. This remarkable mechanism highlights the sophisticated communication that exists even in the plant world. So the next time you enjoy the smell of cut grass, remember, it's nature's way of calling for help. The world's shiniest fruit. Meet the African palea. Believe it or not, the shiniest living organism on Earth is not a gemstone or an exotic animal, but the African fruit Palea condensata. This vibrant blue fruit with an iridescent sheen has a unique ability to reflect light. Its outer surface reflects light so intensely that it appears to glow from within. Scientists are studying this phenomenon to better understand how such a structure can be created in nature. This fruit has become a true mystery for botanists because its glow is caused by microscopic cell structures that reflect light like diamonds. No wonder it's considered one of the shiniest things on Earth. Johnny Appleseed. The man who planted apples not for food. Many of us have heard the legend of Johnny Appleseed, whose real name was John Chapman. This famous gardener didn't just plant apple trees across America. His goal was much more interesting. He planted trees not for the apples to be eaten, but to produce cider. In the early 19th century, apples were mainly used to make this alcoholic drink, and Johnny Appleseed became a hero among cider lovers. Knowing this story, each glass of apple cider will feel a bit more historical. Did you know the U.S. unemployment rate is still surprisingly high? The unemployment rate in the U.S. remains high, despite numerous efforts by authorities to reduce it. There are approximately 11 million unemployed individuals in the country, which is equivalent to the population of Greece. This issue persists even during periods of economic growth, as many citizens continue to experience social insecurity despite government and private sector initiatives. The problem of unemployment is becoming increasingly prominent, affecting millions of Americans, including those with higher education who are unable to find jobs. Can you believe that in the USA there was once a reign of spiders? In the small town of Golden, Colorado, in 2015, an unusual natural phenomenon occurred, which locals called the reign of spiders. Thousands of spiders fell from the sky, filling the streets and yards. Scientists explain this by the fact that spiders use a technique called ballooning, where they take off into the sky on their webs and travel great distances using wind. This phenomenon can be observed in various parts of the world, but such a massive rain shocked the locals. Have you ever considered that ethnic tension in the U.S. is still an issue? Tensions between ethnic groups remain one of the most pressing social issues in the United States. Historically, laws prohibiting marriage between people of different races were in place, and it wasn't until 1967 that this ban was lifted. Nevertheless, racial tension continues to be a significant topic in American politics, culture, and daily life. Social movements like Black Lives Matter aim to highlight this issue, which remains relevant to society as a whole. Could pangolins really roll into invulnerable battle balls? Pangolins, the only mammals entirely armored in keratin scales, have developed one of the most effective natural defense systems. When threatened, they instantly curl into a tight ball, exposing only their razor-sharp plates. These overlapping scales, made of the same protein as human fingernails, are tough, flexible, and can deflect bites from lions and leopards. Even mothers protect their young by rolling around them, forming a living shield. Their defense is so effective, predators often give up. Unfortunately, their invincibility against nature has made them vulnerable to humans. Their scales are falsely believed to have medicinal properties, making them one of the most trafficked animals in the world. Conservationists are racing to protect these secretive creatures, whose silent strength and prehistoric armor make them true marvels of mammalian evolution. Did you know that the oldest tattoo is over 5,000 years old? In 1991, archaeologists discovered a mummy known as Ötzi in the Alps. Ötzi is around 5,300 years old, and on his body they found 61 tattoos, mostly lines and crosses. These tattoos may have been used to relieve pain, as they are located near acupuncture points. It's fascinating to think that ancient civilizations used tattoos not just for decoration, but also for healing purposes. Hard to believe, but the largest iceberg was the size of Jamaica. The largest iceberg ever recorded broke off from the Ross Ice Shelf in Antarctica in 1986. It was about 280 kilometers long and 80 kilometers wide, making its area comparable to the size of Jamaica. This gigantic iceberg was so massive, it could easily have housed entire cities. It drifted in the ocean for several years, slowly melting. Did you know that the name John is over 4,000 years old? The name John is one of the oldest in human history, documented more than 4,000 years ago. This name has endured through countless ages and cultures, remaining relevant even today. Just imagine, millions of people throughout history have carried this simple yet powerful name, which continues to symbolize tradition and endurance. How do diamonds form from marine animals? In the depths of the ocean, under immense pressure and temperature, carbon from the remains of ancient marine organisms can turn into diamonds. This process takes millions of years, resulting in some of the rarest diamonds, prized for their unique origins. Scientists believe that some diamonds mined in Africa may have formed from these ancient sea creatures, giving the stones not only beauty, but also a history spanning millions of years. Did you know NASA once wasted millions on a pen? During the Cold War, a fascinating race was on between the United States and the Soviet Union, not just for space exploration, but also for innovation. NASA invested a whopping amount of money to develop a pen that could write in the challenging conditions of zero gravity, where regular pens would fail due to the lack of gravity pulling the ink down. They produced a sophisticated ballpoint pen that could write underwater, in extreme temperatures, and even upside down. On the other hand, Russian cosmonauts took a more straightforward route, using pencils instead. Pencils, though seemingly simple, were practical and effective, but they did have some drawbacks. The wood shavings could create debris, and if a pencil broke, you could also end up with flying bits. However, this difference in approach highlights not just a battle of technology, but also a clash of philosophies. While NASA focused on advanced engineering solutions, the Soviets relied on an age-old tool. It's a quirky little anecdote about how innovation can take multiple forms. Did you know that lightning is hotter than the sun? The temperature of lightning can reach up to 30,000 degrees Celsius, which is 5 times hotter than the surface of the sun. This incredible natural phenomenon is one of the most powerful forces on Earth. When lightning strikes, it releases an enormous amount of energy in just a few milliseconds, heating the air around it to extreme temperatures. Lightning is truly nature's own flamethrower, bringing intense heat with every flash. Can you imagine that the total weight of all ants on Earth equals the weight of all humans? Despite their tiny size, ants are among the most numerous creatures on the planet. The total weight of all ants on Earth is equal to the weight of all humans. This astonishing fact highlights just how numerous these small workers are. Ants live in every corner of the planet, and their contribution to ecosystems is incredibly important. It's another example of how nature surprises us with its unexpected scales. Who would have thought that ants are such heavyweights in the natural world? The most expensive painting ever sold went for hundreds of millions. In 2017, Leonardo da Vinci's painting, Salvator Mundi, Savior of the World, was sold at auction for an astonishing $450 million. This masterpiece was long considered lost until it was rediscovered in the 20th century. Even after its discovery, debates over its authenticity continued. Many wondered if it was truly painted by Leonardo himself. Nevertheless, its sale made history, turning Salvator Mundi into the most sought-after art piece in the world. Surprisingly, the shoebill looks like a living dinosaur. With its hulking frame, steely gaze, and enormous shoe-shaped bill, the shoebill stork, Balaniceps rex, is a bird that seems plucked straight from the Jurassic. Found in the swamps of Central Africa, this silent predator can stand over 1.2 meters tall and remain still for hours while hunting. When it strikes, it does so with terrifying precision, snatching fish, frogs, and even baby crocodiles. Its prehistoric appearance is matched by its behavior, slow, deliberate, and intense. The giant beak crushes prey with a snap as loud as a rifle crack. Despite its imposing look, the shoebill is shy and solitary, nesting deep in remote wetlands that are increasingly endangered by human activity. Conservationists now race to preserve both the habitats and the mystery of one of the world's most dinosaur-like birds. It may seem incredible, but the puffer fish transforms into a living landmine. Small, slow, and seemingly harmless, the pufferfish is actually a master of sudden transformation. When threatened, it gulps water, or air, and inflates to several times its normal size, turning into a round, spiky orb that's difficult to bite or swallow. Its skin is embedded with spines, and many species contain tetrodotoxin, one of the most lethal natural poisons, with no known antidote. A tiny amount can kill predators or humans, and the toxin is concentrated in the liver, ovaries, and skin. Despite its toxicity, pufferfish are a delicacy in Japan, fugu, requiring highly trained chefs. Scientists are now exploring the fish's inflation mechanism, flexible internal chambers, muscular valves, and rapid water intake, as models for expandable biomaterials. This unassuming creature proves that sometimes the best defense is sudden, overwhelming surprise. Hard to believe, but there's an underwater waterfall in the world. On the island of Mauritius in the Indian Ocean, there is a phenomenon that baffles even experienced travelers and scientists. Off the island's southwestern coast, you can witness an optical illusion of an underwater waterfall. It's not a real waterfall, but a natural phenomenon where sand and sediment, moved by currents, create the illusion of a waterfall plunging into the ocean depths. Due to the ocean floor's contours, it looks like water is cascading down into a giant abyss, though in reality, it's just an illusion. Yet this view is so mesmerizing that many tourists come to Mauritius just to see this extraordinary sight. How do you think chickens can sleep with their eyes open? Chickens have a unique ability called unihemispheric sleep, where one hemisphere of their brain can enter deep sleep while the other remains alert. This allows them to keep one eye open, monitoring their surroundings while the other half of their brain rests. This ability is crucial for their survival in the wild, where danger can strike at any moment. Imagine being able to nap while keeping a watchful eye out for predators. Chickens are true natural guards. It's a skill that makes them well adapted to a life full of surprises. Ever thought about visiting North Korea? If you're daydreaming about a trip to the mysterious land of North Korea, prepare for a surprising journey even before you pack your bags. This country is known for being one of the most closed-off places on Earth, which means getting a visa is not just a walk in the park. In fact, the process can feel a bit like an elaborate puzzle. First off, most travelers cannot enter North Korea freely. They must go through an approved tour guide or agency. You can't just hop on a plane and land wherever you please. The government keeps tight control over the travel process, so visitors are usually only allowed in designated areas, and you will be closely monitored during your stay. The visa application itself involves a lot of paperwork, including a detailed itinerary and sometimes even personal information. Unlike other countries where a simple application can get you a visa quickly, here patience and precision are key. But for those adventurers willing to embrace the challenge, the reward is a glimpse into a world that feels like it hasn't changed in decades. You might be surprised by Scotland's national animal. It's the unicorn, a mythical creature that captures the imagination and embodies the spirit of the country. While most might expect a more conventional choice like the lion or the eagle, the unicorn represents purity, innocence, and power, making it a fitting symbol for Scotland's unique national identity. The connection to the unicorn dates back to the 15th century when it first appeared on the royal coat of arms. Interestingly, the unicorn is often depicted in Scottish lore as a fierce and untamed creature, a symbol of strength against oppression. Over the years, it has woven its way into Scotland's cultural tapestry, appearing in everything from art and literature to modern-day festivals celebrating Scottish heritage. The unicorn also plays a role in Celtic mythology, further enriching its significance as a symbol of magic and wonder. So next time you think of Scotland, remember it's not just bagpipes and kilts. There's a legendary creature standing proud as the national emblem. Did you know that in China there is a living bridge entirely made from tree roots? In China's Guizhou province, there is a unique bridge created not by humans but by nature itself. Local villagers directed the growth of tree roots in such a way that they formed a sturdy bridge capable of holding the weight of several people. This process took decades, and now the bridge has become a symbol of harmony between people and nature. Scientists consider it one of the most outstanding examples of natural architecture, and it is still used by locals to cross rivers and streams. Did you know Filipino food is a delicious adventure? Picture yourself stepping into the vibrant world of Filipino cuisine, where every meal tells a story. Iconic dishes like tocino, sinigang, and sisig are just the tip of the iceberg. Tocino, a mouth-watering fried pork dish, is known for its sweet and savory glaze that makes it a breakfast staple, often enjoyed with fluffy garlic rice. Then there's sinigang, a tangy and comforting soup that hits all the right notes with its mix of meat, veggies, and that unmistakable sour flavor, usually from tamarind. It's perfect for rainy days or just when you need a warm hug in a bowl. And let's not forget sisig, which takes sizzling pork to another level, served on a hot plate and bursting with flavor. It's an absolute must-try. This diverse culinary landscape reflects the country's rich history, blending influences from Spanish, Chinese, and indigenous cultures. Each dish offers a taste of Filipino hospitality and creativity, inviting you to join in the celebration every time you take a bite. You won't believe it. Blood only lives for 120 days. Imagine that your red blood cells, which carry oxygen throughout your body, live for just 120 days. This is literally one of the wonders of our body. Old cells are recycled in the liver and spleen, while new ones are born in the bone marrow, ready to continue their vital mission. This constant process of renewal allows your body to function seamlessly. It's amazing how our body manages this cycle, maintaining the stable operation of all organs without us even thinking about its complexity. How would you react if you found out that the U.S. military funds most of the world's technology? The model by which the U.S. military finances technological developments has been known since the 1960s, when they began supporting the creation of microchips and the internet, initially aimed at protecting against nuclear strikes. These technologies were later adapted by entrepreneurs like Steve Jobs and Bill Gates, becoming the foundation for commercial products that are now in every home and even in every hand in the form of smartphones. Military funding has sparked many technological revolutions, illustrating how military support and innovation go hand in hand with economic development. Elephants fear bees, and that saves farms. Elephants are giants of the savannah, but there's something tiny that makes them run away. Bees. African farmers discovered that elephants are terrified of these buzzing insects. Using this fear, they started setting up beehives along the borders of their fields. These beehive fences create a natural bee barrier, and elephants, hearing the buzzing, avoid these areas to avoid painful stings. This ingenious solution helps farmers protect their crops from being trampled, maintaining a peaceful coexistence with these majestic animals without resorting to violence. Nature truly is the best ally. How far can a lion's roar be heard? The secret of the king of beasts. The lion rightly bears the title of king of beasts, and its roar is one of the most powerful sounds in the animal kingdom. A lion's roar can be heard up to 5 miles, 8 kilometers away, and it's almost as loud as thunder. This roar not only shows the lion's strength, but also helps it hold its territory, scare off rivals, and communicate with other pride members. If you heard such a roar in the wild, you'd definitely know who's the boss. Who would have thought that dolphins sleep with one eye open? Yes, it's true. Dolphins have a unique ability to shut down half of their brain while the other half remains active. This allows them to rest while staying alert for predators and maintaining control over their breathing. Imagine being able to sleep while still ready to wake up at any moment. This evolutionary trick helps dolphins survive in the ocean. Did you know that accents in Britain can change every few kilometers? British English is quite different from American English, and its pronunciation has become increasingly diverse in recent years. Accents in various parts of the UK can vary so widely that you can hear a completely different pronunciation just a few kilometers apart. The royal family is trained to speak Queen's English, which is a distinct and unique standard in the language. You might be surprised to learn about giraffe naps. Giraffes are fascinating creatures, especially when it comes to their sleeping habits. While most of us cherish our long nights of sleep, giraffes have a very different approach. In the wild, they only sleep for about 20 minutes at a time, and sometimes they don't even hit the hay more than a few hours a day. What makes this even more interesting is that they can catch some zoomies while standing up, making them perfectly ready to spring into action if a predator comes by. This unique ability to rest while on their feet is crucial for their survival, as it allows them to stay alert and avoid potential threats. While they can sleep lying down, they only do so in short bursts when they feel safe. This minimal sleep pattern stems from their size. Having long necks and legs makes them vulnerable to dangers in the wild, so short, effective naps help them remain vigilant. So next time you think about a good night's sleep, just remember the giraffe's clever way of managing rest in the wild. The spring equinox. More than just a change of seasons. The first day of spring is known as the vernal equinox. The term vernal comes from the Latin word for spring, while equinox means equal night in Latin. During this time, day and night are nearly equal in length. An interesting fact, according to a study on Facebook, spring is the season when couples are most likely to break up. Perhaps the balance of day and night encourages people to seek new beginnings. Who knew that an astronomical event could have an impact on our personal lives? How many kilometers do you think it is from the UK to France? Only 32 kilometers. That's the distance across the English Channel. This is why it was decided to connect the shores of the two countries with a tunnel. The construction of the Channel Tunnel, which links the cities of Calais in France and Dover in the UK, marked an important milestone in history. This tunnel became one of the most significant transportation projects, costing $15 billion in 1994, which is equivalent to $35 billion today. Have you ever heard of the naked mole rat revolution? These quirky little creatures, known for their lack of fur and wrinkled skin, live in fascinating underground colonies led by a queen. Just like bees and ants, naked mole rats have a highly organized social structure where only the queen breeds. while the rest of the colony takes on different roles, from workers to soldiers. Their unique lifestyle contributes to their impressive longevity, allowing them to live up to 30 years, much longer than most other rodents. Even more astonishing is their remarkable resistance to cancer, which has intrigued scientists who study their genetics. In their dark, burrowed homes in East Africa, they thrive in a cooperative environment, nurturing their young and foraging for food, primarily tubers, together. This incredible teamwork and unusual hierarchy make them a standout species in the animal kingdom, showcasing how life can thrive in the harshest of conditions and challenging our understanding of social behavior in the wild. So, next time you hear about naked mole rats, remember they're not just odd, they're a marvel of nature. Did you know that elephants can hear with their feet? Elephants have a unique ability to sense sound waves through the ground. Their sensitive feet can detect vibrations from several kilometers away. These vibrations help elephants detect approaching predators or other herds. Furthermore, they use this ability to communicate with each other over long distances, transmitting signals and warnings. This sensitivity makes elephants remarkable animals, capable of hearing what is imperceptible to human ears. Did you know your brain is mostly fat? It may sound surprising, but the human brain is made up of about 60% fat, making it the fattest organ in your body. This isn't just an interesting fact. This high-fat content plays a vital role in how our brains work. The fat in our brains helps form cell membranes, providing the structure that keeps cells intact and functioning properly. These cell membranes act like the protective walls of a building, keeping everything safe inside. Additionally, fat helps to insulate nerve fibers, kind of like how insulation in your home keeps the heat in. This insulation speeds up the transmission of signals between different parts of the brain and throughout the nervous system, allowing for quick communication and processing of information. Imagine trying to send a text on a slower connection. It would take much longer. So next time you think about your diet or nutrition, remember that healthy fats are not just good for your body, but also essential for keeping your brain sharp and efficient. Is it really true that goldfish only remember for 3 seconds? Forget that old myth. Goldfish actually have much better memories than we give them credit for. Research has shown that goldfish can remember things like feeding times, recognize their owners, and even navigate through mazes. Their memory is far more sophisticated than the commonly believed 3 seconds, and they can retain information for months. So next time you see your goldfish swimming, know they are much smarter than they seem. Astronauts don't float in zero gravity like we think. Many people believe that astronauts experience total weightlessness in space, but that's a common misconception. In reality, they are constantly falling toward Earth, but at such a high speed that they never crash into it. This continuous fall gives them the feeling of being weightless, a fantastic example of how the laws of physics turn space into a magical realm of floating. Let's uncover the truth about happiness and wealth. It's fascinating how our desires for wealth and happiness can shape our lives. Research shows that when people chase wealth, they often focus on selfish motivations, like personal gain or status. In contrast, the pursuit of happiness usually involves selfless motivations, such as helping others and building strong relationships. This difference highlights why finding a balance between the two is essential for our overall well-being. When we prioritize kindness and community alongside our ambitions, we foster a sense of belonging and purpose. Imagine a world where people actively seek to uplift each other while also achieving financial stability. This harmony can lead to not just individual happiness, but also improve the well-being of communities. Striking that balance can help reduce stress and increase life satisfaction. So how can we start blending these pursuits in our daily lives? By focusing on gratitude and giving back, we can elevate our own happiness while enriching the lives of others. Have you ever wondered why meerkats post lookouts? In the scorching deserts of southern Africa, meerkats thrive through exceptional teamwork. One of their most striking behaviors is the use of sentinels, individuals that stand guard while others forage. From elevated perches like rocks or termite mounds, the sentry scans for threats. Predators such as jackals, snakes, or hawks. If danger approaches, The lookout emits specific alarm calls that vary in pitch and rhythm depending on the type and urgency of the threat. These alarm signals prompt the rest of the group to dive into burrows or freeze in place. Roles rotate every 10-15 minutes to prevent fatigue and ensure fairness. This system is so precise it has been likened to a military watch shift. In Sand folklore, meerkats are symbols of vigilance and community, embodying survival through unity. Their complex social structure rivals that of primates and offers profound insight into cooperative evolution. Have you met the world's tattoo king? Lucky Diamond Rich, a vibrant performer from New Zealand, holds the remarkable title of the most tattooed person on Earth. With a passion for body art that's as bold as it is colorful, he has transformed nearly every inch of his body into a living canvas. Imagine this. He has so many tattoos that they accumulate to more than 200% of his skin. How is that even possible, you ask? Well, Lucky has not only covered his entire body with images and designs, but he's also gone back to redesign and add layers to existing tattoos, creating a strikingly intricate tapestry of ink. This dedication to his craft reflects not just a love for art, but also a unique form of self-expression. Lucky's tattoos tell a story, a personal narrative filled with symbols, colors, and meanings that are deeply significant to him. As a performer, he brings this art to life on stage, capturing the imagination of audiences everywhere. He certainly proves that tattoos can go beyond mere decoration. They can be a declaration of identity and creativity. Can you imagine a world where dads give birth? Seahorses live it. In the underwater realm of seahorses, traditional gender roles are flipped. It's the male that becomes pregnant. After a graceful mating dance, the female deposits eggs into the male's brood pouch, a specialized chamber on his abdomen. The male fertilizes the eggs and incubates them for weeks, regulating temperature, oxygen flow, and salinity. During this time, he nourishes the embryos, protects them from predators, and even contracts in labor to release the fully formed young into the ocean. This is the only known case of true male pregnancy in the animal kingdom. Ancient Asian cultures viewed seahorses as symbols of protection and good fortune, perhaps drawn to their unusual parenting habits. Biologists continue to study this rare adaptation for insights into reproductive biology and evolutionary diversity. In the world of seahorses, fatherhood takes on a whole new level of commitment. Did you know that the whale shark is the largest fish in the world? Whale sharks can grow up to 12 meters long, making them the largest fish on the planet. Despite their immense size, these gentle giants feed mainly on plankton and tiny organisms. They filter massive amounts of water daily through their enormous mouths. Don't worry though, whale sharks are completely harmless to humans and can even be quite friendly if you ever encounter them in the ocean. Why does Patagonia have a lake that completely disappears every year? Lake Capri in Patagonia is a true natural wonder. Each summer, its waters vanish as if by magic. Scientists believe that the water drains into underground tunnels that open during the summer, and then the lake refills in the winter. This makes Lake Capri one of Patagonia's most mysterious attractions, drawing tourists and researchers who try to unravel the secrets of its disappearance. Did you know about Hawaii's Lost Kingdom attempt? In 1870, a bold group of Americans made a surprising move by trying to establish the Kingdom of Hawaii, seeking independence from the United States. This ambitious plan reflected their desire for self-governance and a different future for the islands. The leaders aimed to capitalize on Hawaii's unique culture and resources, thinking it would thrive separately from U.S. control. However, despite their enthusiasm and plans, the effort faced significant challenges, including local opposition and political complications. Fast forward to 1898, and Hawaii's fate took a different turn when it officially became a U.S. territory. This move dramatically altered the island's future, integrating them into a broader national framework and paving the way for Hawaii's eventual statehood. The fascinating history of Hawaii's independence attempt showcases the complex interplay of power, culture, and identity during a transformative period in American history. How might things have been different if they had succeeded? How would you react to the fact that Winston Churchill was born in a women's restroom? What if you found out that one of Britain's greatest politicians was born in such an unusual place? This fact about Churchill has become almost mythical, and while it may not be true, such astonishing and vivid moments have become part of his legend. Churchill, who served as Prime Minister of the United Kingdom twice, played a crucial role in the Allies' victory in World War II. His speeches, resolve, and ability to make important decisions during the most challenging times of the war are key features of his political legacy. El Popo, Mexico's fiery mountain. Popocatépetl, known as El Popo, is one of the most active and dangerous volcanoes in the world, located just 50 kilometers from Mexico City. It regularly spews thousands of tons of gas and ash into the air, keeping geologists and locals on their toes. Its unpredictable nature makes it a constant threat, but also serves as a reminder of nature's power and destructive force. Each eruption of El Popo is a reminder that our planet is alive and capable of awe-inspiring phenomena. Did you know that ancient maps showed sea monsters? During the age of exploration, when sailors had no idea what lay beyond the horizon, maps often depicted enormous sea monsters. The cartographers who created them frequently drew giant squids, whales, and snake-like creatures in the seas and oceans, warning future travelers of what lay ahead. Some monsters on these maps were inspired by real encounters with unknown sea creatures, while others were pure fantasy. For sailors of that time, a map was not just a guide, but a warning about the dangers lurking beyond the known world. It sounds unbelievable, but snow can keep you warm. You wouldn't expect frozen water to save you from freezing, but that's exactly what snow does inside an igloo. Though cold to the touch, snow is a great insulator because it traps air. When Inuit people shape blocks of compressed snow into domes, those blocks form a network of air pockets that slow heat loss. Even in Arctic temperatures of 30 degrees Celsius or colder, the inside of an igloo can rise to 0 degrees Celsius or above with just body heat and a candle. It's not warm by tropical standards, but it's a life-saving difference. The science is simple but brilliant. Air conducts heat poorly, and snow, being mostly air, becomes a shield. For centuries, the igloo has been a shelter of survival, a masterpiece of indigenous engineering built entirely from what nature provides in the harshest environment on Earth. The inventor of the Super Soaker water gun worked for NASA. Who would have thought that Lonnie Johnson, the creator of the famous Super Soaker water gun, was an engineer at NASA? Johnson worked on developing advanced technologies for space missions, such as the Galileo project to Jupiter. But in his spare time, he developed toys, and one of his ideas became a global hit. The Super Soaker became an iconic water gun that kids around the world played with. This example shows that innovation can come from the most unexpected places, and an engineer's genius can create not only space technology, but also unforgettable childhood moments. Did you know that residents of the United Kingdom who turn 100 years old receive a congratulatory message from the monarch? Every British citizen reaching this milestone gets a personal greeting from the reigning monarch. It is a symbol of respect and gratitude for the long life they have lived. This tradition highlights the importance of honoring the elderly in the UK, where historical continuity and respect for heritage are core values. Each congratulatory moment becomes part of the personal story of thousands, strengthening the bond between the monarchy and its people. Kiwi, the bird that can't fly but rules New Zealand. The kiwi bird is not just a national symbol of New Zealand, it's a true star. Despite having wings, the kiwi can't fly, but that doesn't stop it from being an icon of its country. These small birds are known for their unique appearance and habits. They are nocturnal and use their keen sense of smell to find food. The kiwi is so important to New Zealand that the locals call themselves Kiwi. This proves that even the smallest and most unusual bird can become the symbol of an entire nation. In the UK, there is a national sport, golf. Do you know its history? Golf originated in Scotland. The first mention of golf dates back to 1497 when King James II banned it to focus citizens on military training. However, in the following years, golf became an integral part of British culture and gained popularity here. Today, golf remains a popular sport, and Scotland continues to host world championships. Did you know that money originated in the Stone Age? The history of money begins in the Stone Age when people exchanged goods through barter. However, this system was inconvenient, as it was difficult to find someone who wanted to trade their goods specifically for yours. In response to this limitation, people began to seek universal items for exchange, and the first such items were livestock, cattle, pigs, and sheep. Later, people started using more portable forms of money, such as rare types of shells. How do you think the famous alien footsteps sound was made? One of the most memorable sounds in film is the footsteps of the alien from the iconic movie E.T. But how was it created? The answer will surprise you. This unique sound was made using regular jelly. Sound designers simply squished their hands in jelly to imitate the sticky footsteps of the alien. This fact showcases the brilliance and creativity of sound engineers who turn everyday items into amazing sound effects. Now, the next time you watch the movie, you won't be able to hear the alien's footsteps without a smile, knowing their jelly origin. Is it true that counterfeiting has existed since the inception of coins? Counterfeiting emerged simultaneously with the first coins. Ancient fraudsters began to chip away at the edges of coins to create new ones, thereby diminishing their value. To counteract this, coins started to feature special edges, reading, making counterfeiting more difficult. Despite these measures, counterfeiting remains a relevant issue in various countries today. Why are days on Earth getting longer? Due to the gravitational interaction between Earth and the Moon, our planet's rotation is gradually slowing down. This phenomenon, known as tidal friction, causes our days to lengthen by about 1.7 milliseconds every century. In the future, our days will be even longer, and we may need to rethink how we measure time. Imagine a snooze button with extra time becoming a necessity millions of years from now. Surprisingly, it's a fact. Banknotes contain microscopic traces of cocaine. They also harbor a large number of microbes, including potentially harmful ones like Staphylococcus. This is due to the fact that money changes hands among many people, making it a source of microbial contamination. Additionally, most American dollar bills show microscopic traces of cocaine, confirming their frequent use in various places and circumstances. Tardigrades, survival masters of extreme conditions. These microscopic creatures, also known as water bears, can survive in places where other organisms would perish. Tardigrades can endure freezing temperatures as low as -270 degrees Celsius, boiling heat, radiation, and even the vacuum of space. In extreme conditions, they enter a state called cryptobiosis, where their metabolism nearly stops, turning them into something like a time capsule. In this state, they can survive without water or food for decades. These fascinating creatures inspire scientists to explore new frontiers, and one day, they might even help humans conquer other planets. Why can rivers in Iceland change their direction? Iceland is a country known for its unusual natural phenomena, and rivers here can unexpectedly change their direction. This happens due to volcanic activity under glaciers. When magma heats the ice, massive amounts of meltwater form underground rivers that change course depending on the pressure and movement of the ice. As a result, a river can flow in the opposite direction within just a few days, leaving residents and tourists puzzled. Did you know that some frogs can freeze solid and still survive? It turns out that certain frog species, like the wood frog, can completely freeze during winter and come back to life in the spring. These amazing amphibians can survive sub-zero temperatures by freezing almost entirely solid. Their hearts stop beating, they stop breathing, and their bodies turn rock hard. Yet when the weather warms up, they thaw and return to their usual lives, hopping around like nothing happened. Nature's cold storage system proves that frogs are some of the ultimate survivors. Is it really possible that Halong Bay is one of the most mystical places on the planet? Halong Bay in Vietnam is a true natural wonder. Thousands of islets immersed in green waters create the impression of a mystical world where reality blends with myth. The limestone formations rising from the ocean make this bay incredibly beautiful and mysterious. This place attracts tourists with its mystical charm and is perfect for those seeking solitude amidst natural beauty. Why is there a village in China where nearly everyone lives past 100 years? In the Chinese village of Bama, nearly every other resident lives to be 100 years old or more. Scientists believe it's due to the clean air, mineral-rich water, and a diet rich in local herbs and vegetables. The locals also lead active lives, working physically well into old age. Tourists come here hoping to learn the secrets of longevity, but the villagers say the key is harmony with nature and a positive outlook. Have you ever thought about how Petra in Jordan remained hidden from the world for almost 2,000 years? Petra is an ancient city carved into the rock, concealed from outsiders until 1812, when Swiss explorer Johann Ludwig Burckhardt stumbled upon it. This incredible city, once a thriving trade center, is now one of the most visited attractions in the Middle East. Its intricate architectural forms, hewn from red sandstone, make Petra not only a remarkable historical site, but also a true architectural wonder. Imagine for a moment that Machu Picchu is not just ruins, but a symbol of Inca greatness. Nestled high in the Peruvian mountains, Machu Picchu is one of the most famous historical sites in the world. Built by the Incas in the 15th century, this remarkable city was abandoned and forgotten for centuries until its rediscovery in 1911. Machu Picchu has since become a symbol of the great Inca civilization and one of the most important archaeological sites in South America. Did you know that a dollar can be changed in 293 ways? When it comes to breaking a dollar, the combinations can be quite diverse. By using various coins like pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, half dollars, and dollar coins, you can make a dollar in 293 different ways. This fact showcases just how intricate and varied the coin system can be and gives a whole new perspective on the humble dollar.